Hello friends, what's up? Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, I'd love to hear that you're new. Leave me a comment down below and say, hey, this is the first time I've clicked on your video. Just kind of curiosity gets to me every single time I post a video like this. But today's video, as you can see, is how I am eating for $1 a day. My budget was $7. 7 days, a whole week, I spent $7.07, so I'm pretty proud of that. I'm gonna go through the entire kind of grocery haul, if you will. It's not even a grocery haul, it's very few ingredients, because I feel like $7 in 2023 does not buy you as much as $7 in 2019 or 2020, but nonetheless, I feel like I have a really solid meal plan that will help someone out if you're looking to eat for $1 a day. A couple of things I wanna mention here is there's not a lot of vegetables here because vegetables are the expensive part of any meal plan. We all know that. So if you're looking for a perfect meal plan that is super healthy with lots of fruits and vegetables, you're not gonna find it for $1 a day. But this meal plan will fill your belly. And of course, I always do like to mention, because I get multiple comments anytime I do a budget video, grocery prices are different all over the world. Your prices might be more than mine, they might be less than mine, they might be the same as mine, but I have no control over grocery prices. I can only buy what I can buy. I only have, certain stores in my area. So if yours are higher than mine, I'm sorry. It's just kind of a guideline that you could use. Overall, I feel like this is a really great essential plan. It's going to fill your belly. It's going to give you a lot of calories to get you by. Maybe you have an unexpected car expense or home expense or medical expense. I don't know, maybe you're just looking to just kind of squeak by on the cheapest week of food. 1 week of food being without everything that you need nutritionally is not going to kill you. But I do want to quickly say that if you are someone who is in need of food and clicked on this video and you live in the US, you can reach out and call 211. They will help you, assist you with getting you to a food pantry in your area. I know personally our food pantries do deliver in the Las Vegas area. I do also know that 211 will direct you to the one closest to you. But let's jump in and I'll share the breakfast, lunch, and dinner I came up with this week for just $7.
Change has a reason, baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our abilities. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. Baby, you and I should start living now. With the whole world at our feet, we could stay or we could leave. There is nothing in between.
Hello friends, do me a huge favor and give this video a huge thumbs up. It helps me out so much. So it has been a year and a half since I've done this style of video. I've only done eating for $1 a day once. So let's just jump right in. So with this box of mashed potatoes, I'll explain later why I decided to use it, but it has 34 servings and it cooks up so incredibly quick, like 3 minutes, you have some mashed potatoes. Also, I am only using salt, and that's just an ingredient I feel like everyone may have at their house. If they don't, that's okay. You don't need any seasonings, but you can also add whatever you'd like. I'm just keeping it super, super simple and really sticking to that $7 budget. I really wanted to see how much I could make for $1 a day and if it was still possible in 2023. I know it was possible in years past because I'd done it before. These potatoes are looking nice and fluffy and delicious. I did add additional water to them because I only used water as an ingredient when mixing them up. I didn't add any butter, so I just made them kind of eyeballed them, if you will. So let's get into breakfast. So this pan is actually already dirty because I just made lunch in it, but we're reversing back in time. I am adding a little bit of Pam cooking spray because I was worried that this would stick. So I'm taking my freshly made mashed potatoes and making potato pancakes. Now they're not the most beautiful potato pancakes in the world, but they sure were delicious. And I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to do for lunch for the rest of the week and kind of my thought process behind breakfast, because just hang tight, even though this breakfast looks kind of ugly, it still tasted good. So let's jump in and I'll explain to you what I'm doing for the rest of the week.
Checking in with you really quickly. I know breakfast does not look the best. Originally, I was going to use my waffle maker because that's how we love to do leftover mashed potatoes, whether they're instant mashed potato flakes or homemade mashed potatoes, but I figured that I would get roasted in the comments if I used something other than my stovetop or oven, because if I think of what someone has for essentials, a waffle maker is not an essential home kitchen appliance. So I decided to go ahead and make them as a pancake, and going forward tomorrow, I'll make them a little bit drier so they cook up a little bit faster, but they're still very tasty. I mean, they have a nice crunch on the outside. They're really creamy on the inside, super creamy on the inside. So I just thought I would add that really quick. So hang with me, because lunch is possibly the most fabulous thing ever, and I've never made these before. Also, if you're wondering why I did potato flakes and not regular potatoes, is because of the price. When it goes by volume, I could get actually a lot more servings out of the potato flakes than I could the actual potatoes. And I was also thinking for convenience. If you are someone who is really stressed and managing your money and maybe having to really buckle down, an instant potato can be really helpful because they're ready in like 5 minutes. You don't have to make mashed potatoes, peel them and boil them, or if you don't peel them, chop them, boil them, etc., if you know what I mean. And I didn't want to use my Instant Pot for regular potatoes and have that for convenience, because again, kitchen appliances, you see what I'm trying to say here. But I think instant mashed potatoes are kind of looked over a lot of the times, but that box has 34 servings, and today alone, you'll see what I have for dinner. I have enough to make one more dinner, which is huge. I have enough for 3 pancakes or waffles every single morning, and I have enough for a serving at lunch every day. So yes, there is a main starch component, but I feel like there's enough variety where I won't be tired of it this week. So come on, let's go finish, and I'll share with you what I'm making for lunch.
This was such an awesome lunch, and I love doing these types of budget videos because sometimes I stumble across a meal that I know is going to be a staple in our house for a long time. So I took 2 cans of black beans. I did drain the liquid. I kept some of the liquid. I did not rinse them. The reason is because I needed the liquid to add a mixture component, so you can kind of see what the beans look like. Just like I said, just drained them, didn't rinse them. And then I added about a half a cup of mashed potato flakes in total. I just kind of eyeballed it, but I added the starch to the beans to soak up that liquid, and then it made it really, really easy to mash. So I just mashed them with a fork. It just took a couple minutes, and added a little bit of potato flakes at a time until they became the perfect consistency. And you'll see here, there's really no way that you could really mess this up. If you added a little extra potato flakes, it would just be a little bit thicker. But as you can see, I'm just kind of mixing and adding a little bit at a time. And you can see how thick and creamy these mashed beans are getting. And then I made a black bean burger, and I can only imagine how good this would be with some roasted peppers inside of it, maybe some onions. These were amazing texture wise, and they're really just 2 ingredients. Add a little bit of salt if you want to, add some additional seasonings, maybe add some garlic, but these were so good. I can see these being a staple for us all summer long. If you have a grill, you could definitely grill these, but the texture was absolutely fabulous. I've always had a hard time with black bean burgers, kind of getting them to stick together, but I saw a very well executed recipe on a blog that had 30 ingredients. I thought, no, you know what? I can make this with 2. And I did. And I'm so happy with these. So if you have black beans and mashed potatoes on hand right now, I highly recommend trying these out this weekend. So then I just added some more of the mashed potatoes that I went ahead and pre-made. So that way I had a bunch made for the week. Added a few black bean burgers. I ended up making 10 total black bean burgers so I could have 2 at lunch each day. And this was super filling and delicious. And like I said, these burgers are a highly must try, even if you're not on an extreme budget. They are so good, and you can kind of add whatever ingredients you want to them to kind of zhuzh them up a little bit. I cannot recommend these enough. The texture was absolutely perfect.
So when my husband and I were going through our debt-free journey a few years ago, if you followed that 2020 through 2021 6 months solid, we paid off almost $35,000 in debt. I can link a video down below and tell you how we did it if you'd like, but basically we grinded. We spent $30 a week on groceries, which I know $30 a week then stretched more than $30 a week now because high inflation, but a lot of times we did these dollar per person for an entire week. We did $2 per person for an entire week. Like I said, $30 was our budget. So we were as extreme as possible. And no, not every single day we get 3 servings of produce, vegetables, and fruit. And still to this day, we don't do that. We're not perfect. So I do feel like a lot of times people will come to these style of videos and they will comment about everything that's wrong with it. If that's the case, maybe this video isn't for you. Maybe you've never been so crunched financially that you are just looking to feed yourself some calories for the week, and that is why I decided to design this style of video. So maybe it's not for everyone, but I know it's for someone, and I hope that it helps someone out today.
Like I said, I made 2 of these for dinner this week, but the first step I needed to do was make some homemade lentils. I love lentils, especially if you make them with taco seasoning and have them as a taco component. 1 bag of lentils ends up being 2.5 cups, and I just used 1 cup this day, and then I used the rest the next time I made this shepherd's pie. If you've never made homemade lentils before, it's super easy. It's 1 cup of lentils to 2.5 cups of water. You bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, you put a lid on it, turn it down to low, and let them cook for 25 minutes. They always turn out perfect. And you can add any seasonings that you like to them. My favorite is taco seasonings. To a large bowl, I added my tomatoes and my mixed vegetables. You could have definitely went a different route with any of the inside seasonings or flavors to this shepherd's pie, but I went with the mixed vegetable cans just to kind of give it some extra volume and of course a little bit of vegetables. And this I actually split in half. I used half for this day and then half on Wednesday when I made a second pie. So I just kind of layered my shepherd's pie here. I make shepherd's pie all the time on my channel and I use different ingredients all the time. You can really add anything to the inside of a lentil pie and it's so good. So there you see my kind of vegetable layer. If you can't have tomatoes, you can definitely substitute for something else. Then I added my lentils and this really bulked it up. Lunch and dinner have very high protein, lots of nutrients going on. Breakfast might have been a little sad with just the mashed potato pancakes or waffles, but I did forget to mention mashed potato french fries. So good. And you can add a couple of vegetables if you want to add a couple of dollars worth to this as well, but this is extreme. And then I made some fork lines for the shepherd's pie. A little bit of paprika on the top of this is so good if you have it, but I'm just using salt this day just to kind of really be extreme, if you will. Sometimes it's fun to be really extreme for me with my budget to see what I can come up with because I did it for so long before.
I did want to say thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you gave it a huge thumbs up and you subscribe so you never miss a video by me. Make sure your notifications are turned on. I do want to quickly add lastly that if you were to add about $7 worth of veggies, you would only have about a $14 budget if your prices are similar to mine. So it's a very inexpensive meal plan altogether. I hope you really enjoyed it. I will see you soon in a new video. Bye-bye.